All right, can you hear me okay now?
I can hear you. Okay. Well, we are recording, and I am super excited to share this story with the world because I know that we have what I what I'm excited about is there are a lot of personal trainers who are helping their clients to slow down with working harder and harder and harder instead of keeping it simple, which you know I'm all about. So I love the passion that you told your story with the other day when we met face to face for the first time. And I thought it was fun, all the people that were gathered around to hear you tell that story because it was so powerful. So I'm just going to let you take it away and start at the beginning and, and tell us your story.
Okay. Um, well, I think I might want to share just a little bit more than I did when we met in person.
Sure.
Now, you got to understand, when I was in high school, I was pretty thin. Um, when I graduated high school, I think I weighed around 120, 125. Um, and that same year, I was diagnosed with a genetic thing, and I was put on some hormone replacement. 40 pounds in 3 months without even thinking about it.
Oh,
And thought, hey, I need to do something about this. So I started doing a lot of pull-ups and push-ups. I did that, 2 or 3 times a week. And after a few months, I got to where I could do pull-ups and push-ups for a couple hours straight. But I hadn't lost a pound. I actually gained more, probably muscle, but still. Um, So I got a gym membership and I tried that, but I couldn't afford a personal trainer. And so I started looking at what I was eating. And okay, long story short, here we are almost 20 years later, and I've tried almost every diet you can think of. I've tried almost every crazy workout plan you can think of. I I went to school to become a personal trainer. I went to the National Academy of Sports Medicine, the most recognized name in the fitness industry, so that I would never have to teach somebody. I would never have to pay somebody to teach me how to exercise ever again. I know it all. And as far as personal training goes, I'm pretty good. You name your game, and I'll show you how to up your game. I don't care if it's hacky sack or football, golf, swimming, triathlon, you name it. I, if you want an Olympic gold medal, I can show you how to get there. Maybe that's not my goal. Yeah, I'm at that level, but I can show you how to get where you want to go.
right.
But for a lot of people, it doesn't work. I've noticed personal training and exercising your guts out is only works for people that are healthy programming up here and in their heart. Okay.
Right.
Now, if what you've got going on up here and up here is telling you this is too hard, I don't like this, then you're not going to stick with it and you're not going to get the results. A lot of us need something simple. And okay, so when I met you and I first got introduced to the program, you were talking about these cell receptors and all these other things that were just kind of going hand in hand with what I had already been learning. A lot of it sounded really great, and I thought, okay, maybe this sounds really good. Um, and honestly, I had my doubts at first, so I wasn't committed. I wasn't serious for the first couple of months, and I had a few excuses behind that.
Totally normal thing. I run into that with everybody. Have to first get their head around it.
Yeah, and as you know, I had some life situations that
New baby.
I was taking a lot of my time. Um, so a couple by, and I was thinking about it more, and um, in the 6 months before I met you, I had employed every trick of exercise and every trick of diet I had ever learned, and I put everything to practice and just drove myself into the ground with it. And 6 months of that, I took my body fat percentage from about 35% down to about 22%. And driving myself into the ground like that.
2% driving yourself into the ground, and only at 3%. 3% difference.
And then, and right before I met you, it started going back up. My body was adjusting to everything I was doing and deciding that it needed to pack on more storage to deal with it, and that wasn't working. So when I was introduced to your program, I was kind of about ready to give up and figured nothing was really, 20 years of trying everything I could, and you name a workout program, I could tell you exactly how to do it. You name a dietary program, I could tell you how to do it. You name a supplement, I can tell you exactly what's in it and exactly what it's supposed to do. But I can tell you that in the long term, at first, but in the long term, it's not going to stick.
Why? Why do you think that is?
Well,
and with such confidence.
People are like me. Is looking from the outside in is the way to go. I could work on the diet, I could work on the exercise, and I would get a certain amount of result, but at some point I would come up against a wall.
Right, that wall.
I'd shed a layer, and I would shed a layer, and I'd shed a layer, and then I'd hit this wall. And then I would back away from it and gain layers back, maybe more.
Right.
Shed a layer and shed a layer and shed a layer and work so hard, and then I would hit that wall again. And I would gain some layers again.
Right.
And from inside out, and you really get a handle on what's going on in here and in here. From the other side of the wall and take that wall down, then the body learns to take care of itself. I don't know how to explain it better than that. Just when you work from the inside out and you really see yourself.
Right. So when we're thinking of doing the, okay, so this there's a fine line here that I want to just make everybody aware of. The fine line is, if you just do the belief stuff and you hold that inside of you, but you don't take action on it, because like I'm always saying, thought turns it into feelings, because thought drives your feelings. It creates the feelings. You don't just happen upon the feelings or the thought. The thought starts here, then it creates the feeling. That drives you to action, which creates a result. So the actions that what we're trying to do here is to create this ease where we know that this thing, this little simple thing that most people think is too simple, that it's so hard, right? We think it's so simple that it can't possibly work, and so we make it hard. We muddy the waters. We try to add things. We do all this what ifing, right? But if we create the thought and the feeling that drives us to the simple action, which is what you did, right? This simple action that then creates an actual physical result, because this is science. It just starts here, but we actually need to take this thought and feeling, this, well, I call it faith, this faith to a physical level, and that requires action. We have to take that next step, and that's in the physical realm most of the time. Okay. So what are your results that you've achieved by doing just that?
Okay, well, I want to be honest, and I want to admit to you something.
To the world, you're admitting how vulnerable of you.
After my baby was born and I decided to get committed to the program, it wasn't exactly for the right reason at first. I was going to make a list of all the reasons why this did not work, and I was going to prove you wrong.
Oh, I totally did that when I was creating this. I'm like, oh yeah, I'll prove you wrong. I love it. That's for the awesomest.
That's when I really got committed to the habits and how simple they really are. And but then I quickly found that, especially with the belief breakthrough part of it, I wasn't just committing to these simple little habits. I was really committing to myself.
Right.
And it was easy to do because these habits are actually really simple. And now, I don't know how long it's been exactly. I think about 5 months. Definitely, it's been less than 6 months since I actually got committed to these simple habits. And I'm now down to 13% body fat.
13% from 22? Oh no, it was going back up.
It was going back up.
So where were you when you got committed to the habits and really started doing it 100?
About 24, I think.
That's a huge jump in just a few months.
Yeah.
Were you seeing progress along the way?
Well, I've been taking measurements every Monday morning, and pretty much every week I see the numbers change.
Cool. And what advice would you give to somebody who is they're getting started, they're in that beginning time where they're like, whatever, this isn't going to work for me, and they're doing that thing where they go from, having a day that went pretty well to doing exactly what it takes to put on extra stores of fat in the evening, which counteracts all the things that they were doing during the day, and then think, this isn't working for me. What advice would you give to them? The people that say, well, I'm doing this, I was consistent here, so I wasn't consistent here, and they're picking and choosing what parts they wanted to apply. What do you give them?
Well, like I said, I wasn't really committed those first couple of months, and I was kind of like that too. I didn't want to give up my bedtime snack. I had a hard time with not eating after 7. And instead, I got to have a breakthrough on that. And so I can choose to look at it as I get to honor my body by fasting for a certain number of hours every day. And that fasting has some science behind why it helps the whole thing work better.
Exactly.
And now I've come to find that with fasting, every evening, digestion works better. So during the day, when I do eat, I don't need to eat as much because I digest it more fully and my body uses everything better. Basically, okay. Everybody enjoys something different. If you like walking as your exercise, that's fine. For me, I like lifting heavy things. And now that I fast after 7, my body eats food better, I need less of it, and I get better results out of what I eat. I'm packing on more and more weight. Every time I do a bench press, every time I do a deadlift, I'm adding 5 pounds to what I'm able to lift.
That's awesome. You're stronger even though you're eating less food.
So obviously my body's actually really fully digesting what I'm eating. Because before, if it wasn't making the gains in strength, then where was all that food going?
Exactly. Your body has to work harder to figure out what to do with the extra stuff that we put into it. actually has to work to create the store of fat that it puts on the outside to hold on to some storage for you for later. When if you don't put it in, and it doesn't have to work that hard to create that for you for later. And doesn't just knowing what creates fat and what gets it off, isn't that, I mean, for you, was that freeing?
It's beyond freeing. It's kind of, it's a game changer in a lot of ways, because I don't really want to be a personal trainer anymore. A lot of the people that just want to get better at a particular sport, there's plenty of people out there that can help them with that. The people I really want to help are the people that actually need the help. And a lot of people that, they've got issues with their weight, frequently just telling them, spend a bunch of time on a treadmill. That's not the answer. People that I want to help aren't really going to get helped with personal training. So I'm kind of gearing more toward being a coach with, like I said, what's going on in here and what's going on in here.
I love that.
Changed my body permanently. It's not.
It lasts forever. It lasts forever because it's so simple. It's like, once you know how to do these things, why would you ever go back to the old behaviors that were just hurting you, right?
Yeah.
It's so easy, and it saves you grocery money, which is awesome. And you're still eating enough. Awesome. Thank you. I appreciate you sharing your story. Is there any nugget that you want to drop just as we're wrapping up? Is there any one thing that you would tell everybody to help them make this easier for themselves if they're just brand new and they're getting ready to get started, especially people that have been going the personal trainer route to try to lose weight instead of going the personal trainer route to build muscle?
A lot of people have a lot of things to say, and a lot of us have a lot of things that we say to ourselves. And if you all could just take a minute to take a couple of deep breaths, just close your eyes and relax for a minute and shut out all those voices. Don't listen to what your parents said. Don't listen to what your ex told you. Don't listen to not working hard enough. As a personal trainer, I tell my clients, you listen to your own body more than you listen to me. And that's a big key right there. Listen to your own body more than you listen to anybody else. If anybody ever told you you wouldn't make it or you're not good enough, if you think those things yourself, stop. Take a deep breath. Listen to your body. Don't listen to those things anymore. Just listen to your body and know those people haven't given you enough credit, and you probably haven't given yourself enough credit. You're more amazing than you know yet. Now's your chance to prove it to yourself. Just take a deep breath and listen to your body and feel what's right for you. That's what I would tell them.
Nice. I will just add, when you're sitting down to eat, when you're sitting at the table and somebody, like for the holidays, I'll put this out there. This is my nugget. Taking what John just said and preparing for the holidays. You're going to be around your family. Some of them might hold on to stuff that says, if you don't eat everything on your plate, I'm going to be mad at you. That happens. It's a real thing that people come across when you're getting into a family setting. If you don't put more onto your plate, when I first started this was a big deal. I put much less on my plate than I used to. And people looked at my plate and thought I was judging them for putting lots on their plate. This happened. And you just,
Yeah.
like you said, just wipe away what everybody else thinks, what everybody else is saying, and you just do the right thing for you, and you honor your body's cues. Your body knows how much food it needs. And you don't have to be the one who thinks that they have to just shovel food into your mouth at the holidays as fast as you can within the 20 minutes that you have before you just are stuffed so silly that you have to roll yourself over to the couch. You get to honor your body's cues. And I love what you just said, because that's exactly what it takes. It takes clearing your mind and just saying, okay, am I hungry? Am I satisfied? Is there food left on my plate? And that's okay. Yes.
Yeah.
You know, leftovers are amazing. And even if you didn't get to have leftovers because maybe this isn't something that would save, that's okay. And you get to just own it and be okay with that. And not worry about what anybody else thinks. You're going to get pie again. It's going to happen. Yeah. You're going to get that 7-layer cake or whatever it is again. It will happen in your life. In fact, you can make it yourself.
Yeah. There's no law.
Yeah,
I mean,
no law. And if the belief is, but I don't want to, that's a very limiting belief. If you really want that pie or that cake, then you get to say, I can choose to want to, and you can go make it. You can even make it tomorrow. Man, you can have that stuff every day if you want. I make mine out of organic ingredients on purpose. Nutrition is important. Make sure you're eating your green leafies, but that's not the thing. That's not the thing that makes you lose weight. That's the thing that helps you be healthy. Eat when you're hungry. Stop when you're satisfied. Honor your body's signals. Don't worry about what anybody else thinks.
Yep.
All right. Thank you so much for showing up. I love this, and it will be posted on the Real and Slim public page, so you can go there and share it if you want to. And I will talk to you later. We'll see you.
Okay. Bye.